Hello. Today we're looking in the initialization chapter of Learn to Code 2, and we're on the second activity called Train Your Expert. Train Your Expert is a challenge that says we should create an instance of type expert and use that expert instance to solve the puzzle. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do that and then run our code. And so here in this first line of code, it says let expert equals, and then to create to create or initialize a instance of expert, we just type in the type name, which is expert, followed by an open close parentheses. Okay, this will initialize an instance of expert, and we'll refer to it with the constant name small lowercase expert from now on. Okay, so let's run our code here, and let's do a couple things when we run the code. Let's see where the expert shows up, one, but let's also see if these gems appear in different locations when we run it. Okay, so run the code, and there's our expert shows up. And it looks like the puzzle stayed the same. The gems showed up in the same places. All the tiles showed up in the same place. So let's run it one more time just to be sure. And yep, okay. So everything stays the same, and our expert is born right here on the arrow, just like we'd expect. So it looks like in the broad scheme of things, we need to clean up these gems on this island that we're on right now, and then somehow get over to these other gems over here, which are located on some other islands and some platforms. Okay, now the platform is raised, so at some point we're going to need to lower that platform so that we can get over to these other gems. Okay, so that looks like the lock over here right behind our expert, and so maybe we should clean up the gems where we are, and then the last thing we'll do is clean up this gem right behind expert, and then go ahead and turn the key and have him turn the lock down so that we can lower the platform and get over to the rest of the gems. Okay. All right, with that broad sort of understanding of what we want to do, now let's look for patterns that'll help us do this in a little simpler fashion, or at least fewer lines of code. One thing I notice is that in this part of the puzzle anyway, here, it looks like that all the gems are 2 away from the character right now. They're 2 tiles away. So if we could write a function that goes out 2 and collects a gem and then comes back to where we are, that seems like it would be useful, because then we could just do that and then turn a different direction, do that again, where we call our function to go out 2 tiles, get a gem, and come back, and then turn again and call the same function, which will go out 2 tiles, get a gem, and come back. Okay? Now, so let's do that. Let's put in a little comment in here that says, write a function that goes out 2 tiles, collects a gem, and comes back 2 tiles. Now, one question we might have is, when we come back, do we want to be facing the opposite way? I find that it's a little easier to think about things if, when we come back, we turn ourselves around so that we're facing the same way we started from. Okay, so in this case, if we do that, we go out, we get 2 gems, we come back, and we turn ourselves back to the way that we're facing now, then it's a simple matter of turning left and going and getting this gem right in front of us here. Then we'll come back, and we'll be facing the way we were when we started that, and we can turn left again, okay, to do that. Okay, so let's make that our goal. Okay, so that'll be the function. Okay, now this function here, let's call this function expert get gem 2 away. Okay, so that's going to mean expert go and get a gem 2 tiles away. All right. Now, we could go ahead and just write all of that code to go do that, but I'm going to break this down even a little bit more just to practice with my function. So I'm going to first call maybe a function that's going to be called expert move to and collect. Okay, and that's going to be a function where the expert moves 2 out in front of him, collects a gem. Okay, then I'm going to call maybe expert turnaround. Okay, and then I might call another function expert come back or expert return to center 2, and the 2 stands for 2 tiles. Okay, let's start with that. Oh, and then we're going to have our expert turn around again, right? Expert turn around. Okay, so these are all sort of just big ideas that will have, so I'm going to draw some arrows in here. So expert move to and collect, we'll take the expert forward to collect our gem. Expert turn around, we'll turn him around. Expert return to center 2 will just be moved back 2 tiles to where he came from, and then expert turnaround will turn him around again so that he's facing the same way that he started with. Okay, so these are little other functions that we need to write ourselves. So func expert move to and collect is simply going to be expert dot. Okay, if we say expert dot, we're going to get a list of all the things that the expert can do. And this expert is a lot like any of the characters. It can do things like collect gem. It can move forward. It can toggle a switch. It can turn left, turn right. We can ask, is it blocked on the right? Is it blocked totally? Is it on a gem? Is it on a closed switch? And so on. But it does also have these special functions, turn lock down and turn lock up, that we can call from the expert. So expert.turn lock down, for example, would turn the lock down. So we'll do that in a minute here. Right now we're focusing on expert move to. So expert move to and collect. So move forward to, expert.move forward to, and collect the gem. So expert.collect gem. And that's all that one needs to do. Okay. Then we need a function in here, expert turnaround. Okay. So that one's not done yet. Func expert turn around. And all we're going to do there maybe is an expert dot turn right and an expert turn right again. Okay, now our error should go away for our expert turn around. And the last function we need to write is our expert return to center 2. And that's simply a func expert return to center 2. And we'll just do this one in a for loop. For I in 1 to 2, we want to do an expert dot move forward. Okay, that's it. So at this point, it might be good to just try out our function expert get gem 2 away. And remember, what we want to do here is we want to move forward, get the gem, turn around, come back, and then turn back around so that we're facing the way we started. Okay, that's our goal with this function. So expert get gem 2 away. Let's try that. Always good to test these functions to make sure they work before you get too far along. Collect gem, he turns around, you go back to, and hopefully turn around again and then be done. Okay, good. Okay, so to clean this up really now, we want to do two things. Let's go ahead and get the next gem here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a for loop because we want to do something. We want to do expert get gem to away two times, and then we might want to do part of it a third time. So let's put this in a for loop for I in 1 to 2, and let's put the expert in gem. Let's put the expert get gem 2 away right inside here. And in between the two times we do this, we want to say expert dot left turn left, expert dot turn left. Okay, that should collect 2 gems and get us facing the final one that's right behind us. So let's try this. Okay, turn left. Now he's calling get gem 2 away. Turn around, he's going to come back. He's going to face the way he just left from, and then a turn left. Okay, good. Now he's ready to grab the next one. Now, when we grab this one, we don't want to come back. We don't want to come back. We want to stay there because we're going to need to turn the lock and head over to the other area. So here, let's just call one of these other functions, the one that took us down here, move to and collect. Okay, let's do that. So we'll say expert move to and collect. We'll go down there and get that gem. Now, after he gets the gem, we can go ahead and say, okay, so maybe at this point I'm going to give myself a comment and say the front island is all clean of gems. Time to get the rest of the gems. Okay, so to do that, we need to lower the platform. So let's have our expert do a turn lock down. Okay, so expert will turn the lock down. Let's see what this does. So he's calling 2 times expert get gem 2 away. Then he's going to turn left, call it again, expert get gem 2 away. Do some fancy hopping on the way. Turn left. And this time just calling expert move to collect, and then expert turn down, where he'll work his magic on the lock and lower the platform. Okay, good. This looks like now we can, now these other gems are accessible. Okay, so it looks like if we can walk ourselves over to this platform right here in the middle, we can use our functions that we wrote before that will get a gem 2 away, okay, and a turn left. So let's do that. Let's get ourselves over to that platform right now. Okay, so from here, we will say, maybe put a comment in here, move to the center platform. So it'll be an expert dot turnaround. Sorry, expert turnaround. Okay, it'll be an expert turnaround and a move forward to expert. I'll do this in a for loop for I in 1 to 2, expert dot move forward. Okay, and then we need a turn right, expert dot turn right. And then we need to move forward 1, 2, 3. So for I in 1 to 3, expert.moveForward. And now at this point, I think if we turn to the right, we'll be ready to go get that gem over here on the right, and then we can work ourselves around the corner. But let's just take care of this first. So if I say expert.turn right, let's go ahead and run this, and we'll run it quickly here, a little bit faster, just to see what happens. Okay, turn the platform down. Now see if he gets back to that middle platform now. Good. Okay, now we're in good shape now. Now if we call our 3 times, if we call our expert get gem 2 away and then turn left, we can call expert get gem 2 away and then turn left again, and expert get gem 2 away, and we'll be done. Okay, so we could put that in a for loop here. We'll just say clean up these islands, and put this all in a for loop because we're going to do the same thing 3 times. For I in 1 to 3, what we want to do is call it expert get gem 2 away and then a expert.turn left. Okay, 3 times. All right, let me clean up this code a little bit. Okay, that's it. So our main program here, it's pretty long. This is our main program. It starts here. And what we're doing is we're cleaning up this island over here as much as we can. We're getting the 2 gems that are over here. And then we're getting the 3rd gem right here. So once that island is all clean, we just tell our expert to turn the lock down. Now this whole part from here down to here is essentially getting us over to this main second the center platform on this other side of the puzzle, and then we're essentially going to do the same thing in a for loop 3 times. We're going to get the gem 2 away and turn left to take care of this whole side of the puzzle there. Okay, I'm going to run this in stepping through my code so we can see all the functions getting called. So first thing we're doing is our for loop is calling expert get 2 away, which calls expert move 2 and collect. Then expert turnaround gets called, and then expert return to center 2 gets called, and then an expert turnaround will get called again. Get him facing the way he was before. And now we're back in our second call to expert get gem 2 away, going through the same sequence again. Collect the gem, calling expert turnaround, and then calling expert return to center 2. And then there will be a expert turnaround and an expert turn left. And now we're going to be calling expert move 2 and collect, and stopping there for a minute, pausing while we call expert turn lock down. There he goes. And then an expert turnaround. Now the rest of this, or a big part of this, will be just moving forward 2, turning right, moving forward 3, and then turning right, getting set up for cleaning up all these gems over here, which is in this for loop right here, which calls expert get gem 2 away, which means he walks forward 2, collects the gem, turns around, comes back, turns around again, and then he does the same thing. First he turns left, Then he calls expert get gem 2 away for the second time through that for loop. Turn around, head back, turn around, turn left, and then go to the third time through the for loop where we call expert get gem 2 away. Collect, turn around, return to center 2, which is just 2 move forwards, an expert dot turn around, and an expert turn left. Okay, good job. There's a lot going on there. So just to review what we did here is we tried to identify some patterns, and the pattern was we repeated often this idea of moving forward, collecting a gem, coming back, and then turning around the way we came from. So all these functions here are in support of that one, and that one was called expert get gem 2 away. That calls expert move to and collect, then it calls expert turn around, then it calls expert return to center, and then it calls the turn around one more time. Okay, so these functions all took care of all that, and then we could think of them abstractly, especially this one. This one was our big one that said expert get gem 2 away, because then we could use this even in the second part over here 3 times in a loop. So that made our code a little shorter and a little easier to read. Our main program, especially with these comments, says basically let's take care of the gems right near us in this for loop. They're near us, but they're all 2 away from us. Okay, and then this section of the code here says let's go from here to here. Let's walk down and get ourselves all set up to handle this other island, which means we need to lower the platform and walk our way over to the center platform. And then this last part says let's clean up the other islands on the far side. Okay. All right, and the last thing to review here is that whenever we create an instance, to create an instance of our new type, we just say let some constant expert be capital expert, which is our uppercase expert, which is our type, open close parentheses, and from that point on we can use that constant with a dot after it to do all the things that an expert can do, including things like move forward, collect gem, turn right, and so on, but also these special things like expert.turn lockdown. That's a special function that just an expert can do. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, or you wrote this a little differently that you'd like to share, go ahead and share them in the comments section. See you next time.